In a studio that's in a basement comes the epic story of how two friends changed the future of the movie podcast game forever. The reviews are in. Boys Life magazine gives the High Sci podcast 4.5 acorns. The Daily Bugle says, these guys are super legit. And Pope Francis declares the podcast as life-affirming. From the kid who tried to get smart with David Spade and got fucking old.
You're still out. You're still bad.
And the guy who can name all four Baldwin brothers.
Alec, William, Daniel, and the baby boy, Stephen.
Live from the studio of his parents' basement. The Have You Seen It podcast.
Let me ask you something, Mason.
What's up?
Can I ask a personal question?
You may ask a personal question.
What would it take you? What circumstance would it take for you to eat another person?
Not much. For being honest.
Okay, that's just what I want to know.
Mild hunger, and I'm already like... Look,
so not a strong stance again.
Did you hear about the guy who spent 5 days in a snowstorm and survived eating Taco Bell packets?
I don't understand how he got nutrients from it.
Neither do I. But the point that I'm trying to make is if I do go over 24 hours without food, I will eat someone.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you're stranded on an island,
right?
You're hungry. It's been 6 hours since you ate.
Oh, I'm eating human flesh. Yeah.
Wow. Quick.
Look, man.
Honestly scares me.
It a little bit.
Honestly scares me.
I would do a nice cook, though. I don't want any salmonella or anything like that.
Oh, you wouldn't go in there raw?
No.
How many hours we're talking about where you're just diving in?
Just diving in?
Head first.
36 hours.
That's
so
not a lot.
Almost 2 days.
Not a lot of time.
Not a lot of time, no. No. Let's put it this way. I do not like to be hungry. So.
Wow. Well,
who knows? Maybe
glad
I
asked. Good to know.
Yep.
Glad I asked. Wherever
I'm
stranded on a raft,
reincarnated.
My God.
Yes.
Well, he didn't love eating people. He just tasted.
He just tasted them.
Dipped his toes in. He wasn't a fan.
Yeah, he wasn't a fan, and he said that he really didn't like people with tattoos.
No, he did not.
He didn't
even really like killing people.
I know.
He had to get drunk to do it.
Why did you? Yeah, I know. What a weird man.
He's very lonely.
Yeah, a little too lonely.
But so you're very Dahmer-esque where you're seeing a dead body. You're in a room with a dead body, and immediately you're thinking, that kind of looks delicious.
It kind of looks good. I'm curious. Yeah, I'm just,
So let me give you a hypothetical.
Okay.
I'm losing my foot.
Right.
I got to lose it. It's got to go.
Okay.
Doctor takes it off. He gives me the foot.
Right.
I say, Mason, you want to try this foot. What do you say?
I'm saying, let me slab that thing up with some barbecue and throw it on the grill, and we will try it for ourselves. Let's see.
Wow. I say that because that is a true story.
Oh.
A friend, a guy who apparently his friends always talked about that if there's some way that they could do it guilt-free, try human flesh, they would.
That's
lost his
fucking
foot.
Disgusting. Are
they
you
made
serious?
tacos out of it. They said it was chewy. And the guy ate his own foot and his friends.
Interesting.
Bonding,
okay.
That's type bonding.
Probably, yeah.
That's as tight as it
That's
gets.
another level. You got like near-death scenarios, and then you eat each other.
That's
just a different bond. Definitely.
But so you would not eat per se my foot if I gave you guilt-free.
No, guilt-free. I'm not that curious, honestly.
Wow.
Not that curious to try.
So it'd have to be
flesh.
a survival situation for you to do it.
Yes, definitely.
So Donner Party, you'd be fine.
A Dahmer party?
The Donner Party where they all got stuck in the snow and they had to eat each other.
Oh, well, yeah.
You'd be fine.
I'd have to.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a choice.
Man. See, I hesitate.
Okay.
I'm the weird one, I guess.
I guess you are. I mean, I got to do what I got to do to survive, Like,
I'm the weird one.
Especially if someone's already dead. I mean,
I've always said that I think I'd rather die than
I would
eat
expect
someone.
nothing less than someone to eat me.
Yes.
If I was dead and they needed to survive, eat me. That's fine.
Exactly. When I'm dead and you need it, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I don't. What
But
do
if
I
I'm
want?
alive and you're clubbing me over the head, I might have a problem with that.
But me myself, I just can't. I cannot eat someone. I can't. Of course, I've never been in a starving situation where I'm absolute. But I can't. I know.
Huh.
I can't. It's like the last thing I want to do. I would rather die. I really would.
That's incredible.
It is so gross and bizarre to me that it might be because I I saw The Wrong Turn when I was a little kid, and they were cannibals in that, and
Right.
ever since then I had a bad taste.
Yeah,
for human
I would
flesh.
say no pun intended. Yeah.
But yeah, I struggle with it. But
Why are
some
we
people,
talking about cannibalism?
yeah, why would we?
Why would
always
we
talk.
just
We
randomly
always
bring
open.
it? We
this-
always. It's one of the hot topics of this podcast.
Yeah,
Cannibalism.
this is the cannibal podcast where we talk about everything.
Welcome back. Everything, all your cannibal
We only have a
needs,
few
we're
viewers,
here.
but they are dedicated viewers.
Yes, they are.
They love the talk. What we're actually talking about, because we are reviewing a French horror film.
Right.
Mason, you told me you wanted to see a horror film. You said you're in the mood for a horror film last week when we were
Yes.
talking about what we review.
Yep.
And
And I just saw Roma, and I was kind of in the mood for another foreign film too.
yeah,
So
yeah, well, good, because I said, what comes to mind? One of my favorites, a movie I saw probably a year ago when it came out in the U.S., but that I absolutely loved. And I said, I think Mason will enjoy this movie. It's a very bizarre movie,
very.
and it deals heavily in cannibalism.
It does.
But the movie is Raw. It was titled Grave in France, but it's
Yes.
called Raw in
Raw
America.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is. Have you ever even heard of this movie?
No, I had no idea what this was. I was like Raw, and then obviously the poster is a girl, her nose is bleeding. I'm like, is this an 11 movie? Is she a superhero? What's going on? Not the case. Found out real quickly that
It doesn't take long for you to figure
doesn't.
out that it's not a light movie. But
Right.
I first heard about this movie because when it was released at the 2016 Toronto Film Festival, people were leaving the theater throwing up and fainting. They had to call
Yes.
paramedics. When I hear something like that, I
those
gotta
people
get
are
in
so
on it.
dramatic.
Oh yeah,
They're so dramatic.
It's never as bad as it's gonna be.
No.
Besides Hereditary, maybe it was up there with. Of course, I never wanted to leave or anything.
No, neither did I. If anything, I didn't want to move.
And even though this film is crazy, I still going into it, I thought it was going to be insane.
So did I, yeah.
And it did. If you go into it like that, I don't think it's going to hold up to your expectations. But that's how I was first
Well,
interested.
because in all reality, in this movie, there actually were only, in the entire thing, there were only 3 instances of cannibalism in the
Yeah.
movie. It's more the build-up towards it and, like, what the hell's going on.
yeah,
You know?
but then when it does, even when they're not eating, even then when people aren't eating people, it's always grotesque.
Yeah.
Even when they're eating regular food, it's like fucking animals.
Right.
But yeah, there's not. But when she does get down to business,
She gets down to it.
to a Mason Night special.
Right,
She's,
yes,
yeah.
yes. The
She
ones I like to have on Friday night.
She goes at this is like Mason after 36 hours on a stranded island.
Yes.
He's gonna be chomping at your back.
I'll be all hunched over like she was, like a wild animal eating food.
Yeah. But yeah. So what was your take on this?
Definitely a unique film, and honestly, though, at the end of this movie, and I'm not going to spoil the ending right now, but at the end, I was really trying to compartmentalize this movie and find out what the overall meaning was, without going on the internet and looking up theories and stuff. I knew that it was like a representation of like, and obviously a coming of age story with this girl going to college, find out she's a virgin and all that kind of stuff, but I was slightly confused, but I enjoyed the whole movie. Mm-hmm. And then I started looking into theories and stuff and what it meant, going back and forth. But overall, I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, thought it was good.
It tells a very simple story that's been told a million times, but it tells in a very unique way.
Yes.
And that's what I liked a lot about it. Where, now we get a lot of the same story, whatever, told over and over again, especially in movies now. They're kind of just regenerating the same thing. But this movie, it's a simple premise. It's just coming of age. It's kind of, it's about conformity and stuff and changing who you are to better fit in and stuff like that.
Especially with all the hazing going
But
on
it's
in this
told
movie.
in such a unique, crazy way where they're all cannibals.
Yeah. Right.
And it makes it super interesting. But yeah, it's very unique. That's what I liked about it. But it is, like you said, it is a simple story that almost everyone goes through. But it's told in it's much more extreme.
Right.
And, grotesque.
Yeah, definitely.
Because they're eating people. But yeah, I had to watch it a few times before I started to get ideas of what it kind of all meant and everything like that. But yeah, I liked it a lot too. Well, should we just dive into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, well, we didn't even talk about the synopsis.
Yeah, go ahead and
Yeah.
Give us the old.
The plot follows a young vegetarian's first year at a veterinarian school where she tastes meat for the first time and develops a craving for flesh. Simple.
To the
Everyday
point.
story.
Yeah.
We hear about it all the time. Girls being girls.
Clearly not an original idea. This is just another formulated movie that we always see.
It's you've heard it before. Girl goes to school, she can't fit in, she's weird.
And what does she do?
Start eating people.
That's
what else are you gonna do
all
in
the
France?
girls do that don't
It's
have
France,
friends.
they love food.
They do.
They got a fine palate.
A very fine
And
palate.
no sweeter is the taste of flesh. I hear.
I would say exotic food. Maybe.
They like snails.
They snails, yeah, that is
Weird
that is
people.
odd.
That is odd.
I've never looked at a snail and go, ooh, that looks good.
You know, I've had escargot before.
Have you really?
I have.
Is it any good?
It is good.
No way.
It is
Bullshit.
good. It is.
Come on.
It's good. I swear to God.
What'd you do? Pour a bunch of salt on it?
It was like it was in like butter and it was like sautéed.
Is it like all soft and slimy when you bite into
I
it?
think it's similar to texture. Have you ever had a scallop?
No. Dude, you want to talk about a guy who's not cultured at all? It's me. I don't try anything. I'm the cheeseburgers and fries kind of
Oh,
guy. And my
man,
cheeseburgers are plain and dry because I'm a communist. So, rough life. But
Yeah, I don't like that.
no, not at all.
I'll try anything twice, except for human flesh, unless the scenario calls for it,
Right, of course.
or I'm invited to a party.
Yes.
Because when you're invited to a party and they're serving people, you're just happy that you're not being served, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad we're on the same.
Yeah, definitely.
on the
No,
same
we're there.
page.
I'm
Okay,
totally
good.
on that.
But it opens up. She's a lifelong vegetarian. Mm-hmm. Like strictly so. Her parents never ever let her try meat. Right?
Never. And we see that in basically the opening scene.
Yeah, the opening scene. It's her parents. They're at a cafeteria or something.
Yeah,
and
like a
she
buffet
orders
or-
food. Yeah, and
yeah.
the bitch of a lunch lady. She's kind of weirdly mean.
Very mean. Yeah, I felt the way she slapped that food on there.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Why was she
what's it
so
taking-
mad?
I
She
don't
was
know.
angry at that
Not
lady.
having a good day at work. Yeah.
But
I would have checked my food.
yeah,
Because
you
side
never-
story, did you hear about the guy who got arrested? 3 to 15 years he's going to serve in prison for dumping his testicles in someone's salsa for not giving a good tip.
God damn, 3 to 5 years for that?
Yeah, 3 to 5 years for it. Yeah.
That man is gonna be raped in prison.
They don't think that he's going to be in prison for 5 years, but he can serve up to 5 years for it.
Yeah, but he should be. I mean, he could at least get a year.
Well, imagine going to prison and be
Hopefully
like, hey,
it'll-
what do you win the pin for? You know?
Yeah.
He's like, I dumped my balls in someone's salsa. That's not a very
You can
nice
never
thing
trust
to
him
do.
in the kitchen.
No, hell no.
You know he's not getting kitchen
What's
duty.
the first job he's getting in the kitchen? No, definitely not.
Someone that's been convicted of dipping their balls in food, you can never have around.
Never.
He's
He
never
will not
safe.
be getting his
He's
food
never
handler's
safe.
card anytime
You
soon.
can't go to lunch with him. He can't because you know you leave the room, he's gonna start
dipping balls into things.
Who knows how
Yeah,
long
what a
he's been?
weird man.
3 to 5 years though. That guy must have been a dick.
Yeah.
Not. I mean,
Well, I mean, I'd expect someone to get locked up for that.
I don't
If I'm
understand for
tasting
not
ball
tipping.
soup, I'm good.
How did he dip his salsa in for? I mean,
Okay, this is it. This story, this
me the
guy's
story.
a fucking idiot. Talk about a Nimrod. He did
wait,
it,
you're telling me the
but
guy
he
that
did
dipped
it
his
on
balls in
camera.
salsa?
Yeah, he did it, and he was like, "This is what happens when you only tip 89 cents." He recorded it and posted it. That's how he got caught.
But how did he? Wouldn't the guy that didn't leave the tip already be gone? Was it someone else's
No,
salsa?
I'm sorry, it's a delivery service. That's where the story. Right, and he drove
delivery
20,
service. He
25
couldn't dip
minutes.
the balls in his car.
Yeah, he did it in the car because the guy only tipped him 89 cents through
This
the
is
app or
like
whatever.
the Jussie Smollett thing all over again.
Right.
You got to get off camera.
You do.
Crimes are hard to commit in 2019.
Well, especially when you want to do the whole Snapchat thing while you're doing it.
Was that what he was doing? Did he videotape
Well, yeah,
him?
him and the girl he was with, his other employee, was recording him doing it. That's how he got caught.
I didn't know that. I thought it was like on
Yeah.
a security camera or something.
No, I mean they were recording it and they posted it. Like,
Man,
are you fucking dumb? Like what?
I wonder if that would burn. It would burn you.
If that salsa's spicy, you bet it does. He was probably. It's like putting icy hot on your. That's
Yeah.
not a good idea. You know?
No, it never is.
You're always curious as a kid, though.
To put icy on your balls?
Yeah.
I never had it around. I don't think I
Really?
ever. I don't think I ever.
Well, I guess with
Why would
sports
you
and
want
stuff.
it?
I don't know. Just to see how it feels, man. I was a curious kid. I did it one
Curious
time.
cat.
It was the worst decision of my life. Never did it
I think
again.
I always heard relatively bad reviews about it.
Yeah.
So I steered away.
It was kind of that like dare that we did when we were younger, like 9, 10 years old. We're like, yeah, try it. So, all the sports kids. Fucking weirdos.
Always borderline gay.
yeah. Definitely, dude. That locker room stuff. Yeah, it's gay. Fucking the showers after football games, it's gay.
Oh
Man.
classic.
Well, classic football talk. Or locker room talk, right?
So our main character, Justine, who's played by a French actress that I can't. I usually talk about the director, but I can't even attempt to pronounce this name.
Whose? The director's name?
Yeah.
I will. Julia Docnoria.
Yeah.
And that's
I'm
not even
almost
French accent.
99% sure. You almost said Russian a little bit.
Yeah, I'm pretty about
Docnoria.
100% sure that was not the correct pronunciation.
But yeah. But the main girl, she has a semi-normal name, I think.
No.
Garance. Nope, never mind.
Yeah. Good luck with that one too.
But
Pal.
she's being sent, or she's going off to veterinarian school.
Right.
Her parents are veterinarian. Her sister goes to veterinarian school.
And I gotta say, what in the fuck is with this school?
I don't know.
The hazing is on another level.
I know. I was
was
one
like-
point, I'm like, how much am I taking before I start swinging?
The first time when everyone's coming in ski mask, I'd be throwing hands, man. I'd be like, what the fuck's going on?
It's the French, man.
I
They're
thought it was
very
ISIS
dramatic.
or something,
That's
Break it
hazing.
in.
I know.
Crazy. I wouldn't tolerate that. I don't give a fuck
Freaking in
if I'm
American
cool or
frat
not.
house, they just stick broom handles up your
They
ass.
do, yeah. They do that kind of stuff.
keep it gay.
Yeah, they keep it. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
This hazing was legit, like
It was.
scar you hazing.
Right.
And that's the first kind of scene we get past the cafeteria is she's in the school. She meets her for one, her roommate is a male, which is
Right.
was
But he
odd.
was a gay male.
Yeah, but it's not like they accounted for that. Like they put all the gays with women or
Well,
whatever.
but they did though, because and these are his words himself, but he said that in the subtitles that he goes, well, I'm a fag, so that's why they put us together.
Oh, really?
So they did
Oh,
account for
yeah.
it. Yeah, it's just a small little detail.
It's an odd accounting thing. That's an odd.
Yeah, I know. It's like, okay, if they're gay, then they can be
Because
together.
let's say spoiler, they do in the banging in this, so it didn't help much.
Right,
him
right.
being gay.
But I think he did that because he was watching gay porn, so he was able to get it.
He was in the
and he was
mood.
trying to help her.
He was in the mood.
Yeah,
That's
so-
true. Well, anyway, so she goes, she meets, and in the first 5 minutes of her parents dropping off, she's getting fucked with. She's getting hazed. They run out.
Hardcore.
They what do they make them do? They're all in their pajamas. It was in the middle of the night, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah,
they go
It
and
was
they-
the very first night that they were there.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
go and they make them line up and take the class photo, right?
Right,
it's,
and they're all like in their underwear and pajamas and
yeah,
stuff. They
and
didn't even
it's-
let them get dressed.
It's Carrie situation where they dump blood. It's a classic dump blood.
Oh, whoa! You're skipping ahead.
Oh, what
What about the
happens?
party scene?
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah, because they had them crawl on their
I
hands
forgot.
and knees
so they,
all
yeah,
the
and where
way
are they
to
at
this-
when they're crawling? They're
I
like
had no idea, but that was kind of a cool, ominous shot of like, I was
That's
kind of
one-
like, what the? Is
that's
this
one
a
thing-
fucking cult?
That's
What's
one thing
going on
about
here?
this movie is we talk a lot about, but the cinematography in this movie
It's
is
really good.
fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It's some of the best that I've seen.
And it's definitely a representation again when we
yeah.
get later into the movie about
And the colors and everything.
animalistic
Oh, exactly,
crawling
yeah.
and like. And then if you notice, every time she eats human flesh, she's hunched over like a wild animal.
And that's how kind of everyone is in the movie. It shows
Right.
how even the kids at the lunch table talk about how grotesque and everything is, but
Mm-hmm.
it shows that's how the whole entire movie is. And that's another thing that I liked a lot about it is
Right.
just showing how animal everyone is.
Yep.
And in this scenario, everyone, or in this universe, everyone is really, really animalistic.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they go to a crazy fucking party, which I gotta say, the partying almost weighs out the hazing
does.
because these parties
Had
are.
I had known the hazing would lead up to a party, I
There's
probably
a
would
pot
have
of
been
blood
hazed.
at the end of that rainbow, my friend, and it's a
And it was a
fucking
great
orgy.
rainbow.
It's a French
It is.
fucking rave. People are
Popping
doing drugs.
X
Oh yeah.
under the tongues.
I can't
Chicks
tell.
Are naked.
I can't tell
It's-
these kids are
looks like
16 or they're 20s. Some of them look
Right.
like they're. But everyone's
Yeah.
fucking. It's France.
Everyone. It's crazy.
Anyways, they're partying up, and she finds her sister, and her sister's she's just the town slut. I mean,
She is, and she is drunk as a skunk at this
oh
party.
yeah, she's wasted. And she brought her dog along.
Odd move to bring
Again,
a dog to a
this
party,
school is-
especially a big German Shepherd.
Odd
like
again to
that.
bring a dog to your school.
Right, in general. Yeah.
Very
In the dorm
accommodating.
rooms. I guess so.
But so she.
Could you imagine living on like the 4th floor and always having to take your dog to the bathroom?
Well, people do it, man. I mean, apartments.
No, I wouldn't. I'm too lazy.
I mean,
Adios,
millions
pup.
of people out the window.
I just never.
Adios.
Never.
Yeah, right. I know you.
Not without a parachute.
It'd be hours before you're fucking looking at that dog trying to eat it.
Eat it. Yeah. Like, well, sorry, Coda.
Rather
It's
eat
been
it-
6 hours.
Would you rather eat a dog or a human?
Oh, a dog.
Really?
Oh, a dog. Yeah, man. I'm not that curious. Like, no, I'm a pass on that. All jokes aside, I'm good.
I can't imagine
Good on
eating a
eating.
dog either.
No, I would never want to.
It'd be hard, really hard. I mean,
It's
people
sad
do
over
it.
in those Asian cultures that
Oh yeah,
they have those.
China. They still
Yeah,
have
they
those,
kill
that
those
huge
dogs
dog
in
festival. or
yeah,
whatever.
masses. It's so sad.
Horse though, you could eat horse.
I didn't know. Like, I don't want to try horse either because I'm kind of scared of horses, but
I don't think the meat would be very good.
yeah. And like horses are beautiful and majestic animals.
But again, I'll try anything.
Cows are fat.
I'll try anything.
Pigs are
twice.
fat. It's like I don't care.
Well, you mean you got to think, man. Some guy eventually at some time had to say, "Hey, let's start eating those things."
Yeah, he did.
You know, someone
Yeah.
had to do it.
That's true.
All right. So they're raving, they're partying, they're getting drunk, they're getting high. The sister, it's cool because at the start of the movie, the relationship doesn't seem super close with the sister.
No.
Right? It doesn't.
And
they're-
she's like the black sheep of the family. The older sister is.
Yeah, and the little sisters kind of come in, and it's like they have great chemistry in the film, the
they
two
do.
actresses, but it's kind of like it's kind of like siblings,
Yeah.
younger siblings. When you're a kid, you don't really, you come in cramping your style, you're trying to do drugs and acid, get crazy.
Right. And
You
her
want your
sister's
link-
kind of the good kid, the prodigy.
Oh, she's got a stick up her ass.
Super-
Yeah, she's
super smart
She's
kid.
straight edge. She like she said, she doesn't eat meat, doesn't do anything.
No.
But yeah. So they're partying. They go the next morning. More hazing. Right.
Yes.
They
a lot
don't-
of hazing. But before that, she takes her into that secret room where they find out that their mother and father
Oh yeah,
also
that's where they
were
look.
a
Yeah.
veterinarian, went to veterinarian school, and that it looks like there was blood all poured all over him.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, this is actually the one time Mom actually looked happy."
Yeah.
Interesting
I
too.
wonder why. Yeah, we'll get into
Right,
that.
we'll
I
get
wonder
into
why
that,
she was
yeah.
happy because she was living her fucking dream.
Finally, yeah.
But yeah, and that's kind of the sense you get where they were, they were protecting her entire life, but when they're sending her off here, I feel like the parents kind of knew like she was gonna kind of let loose, and like this
Right.
is the time, so hopefully she'll get it out.
Well, and that's the thing too with like the symbolism of the movie, because that's actually how it is when you release your kid into the real world when they go to college. It's essentially letting them become their own person, and that's
Well,
kind
yes.
of the same thing that they use
And it's a thing of
cannibalism a lot of the time to represent.
coddling your kid and suppressing
Mm-hmm.
who they are. It's not. I mean, it just gets to a boiling point.
Exactly.
So it's not like you're protecting them for anything. It's just going to get to a point where they break and start eating their classmates.
Yeah.
That's it's a strong example, but
It
that's
is.
what it's meant to do.
Yeah.
All right, so they're back, or the next morning they all got to line up for pictures or whatever, and we already spoiled it, but they get carried. They get sprayed in blood, right?
Yes.
And she's kind of freaking out because she hates blood, and I guess she didn't know it was coming, even though she did see the picture.
She didn't see
earlier.
the picture. She knew.
But it was black and white, kind of dark.
Yeah.
But yeah, she gets sprayed in blood, and then they got to line up and do another hazing ritual. Is this the part where they eat the rabbits?
Yeah. Later on that day. Yes.
Kidneys? Yeah. So it just
A
keeps
raw
going.
rabbit
It's a
kidney.
tough first 2 days.
Not the best fun ever, but
But
I think that rave made up for it though.
yeah. Oh,
I'd be
yeah.
looking at day 2 like I cannot wait for tonight.
I gotta survive this shit, but tonight is gonna
Tonight's
be
gonna be a
fucking
good night, everyone.
So in like a ritual that they always do, right? They line up, and all the first class have
All
to
the rookies is what they called them. Yeah.
yeah, they have to go and they have to line up and they have to eat a rabbit's liver.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
A raw rabbit
Disgusting,
liver.
fucking
Or
disgusting.
liver or kidney, one of the two.
Yeah. I can't remember,
It
but
doesn't
I would have a big problem with this also.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too fond of it. In the
For
way
one,
they
it
just
looks like-
set them in the jar.
It looks like it's like in like formula or something,
Yeah.
like alcohol or something, like it's gonna poison you. But she's very hesitant about
she
this.
does not want to do it.
And she starts talking like any of them give a shit. But she's like, my parents made me a vegetarian, whatever. She's trying to plead with them.
Yeah.
And she tries to plead with her sister, too. Which
Yeah,
you would
'cause she
think
calls her sister over,
You think
yeah.
her sister was... when I first watched it, I thought she was going to have her back or something. Tell her not to...
Nope.
Not the case
Not
here.
the case at all.
She pretty much shoves it down her throat. And at first, she gets sick, right? Or she's not... She doesn't enjoy it.
No, she doesn't enjoy it at all.
Her
And her
force
sister
starts-
makes an example of it and says, see, it's not that hard. And then she forces it down her throat, and then she goes, walks away, and she tries to dry heave it up, but she can't with
doesn't.
her gay friend. So
Later, I think she probably should have.
Yeah.
She could have got, yeah. Of course, later in, there is a part in the bathroom where she is getting tips on how to throw up properly.
it was interesting,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah.
But, so it skips in and this night, she starts getting covered in rashes and stuff. Really nasty fucking.
Nasty
And it
rashes.
shows
And
a lot, and
whoever-
it's great. It's great practical effects.
And that's what I was going to say, too. Like, whoever did those effects did a really good job. Because, like, when the doctor was pulling away the dead skin, I was like,
yeah.
oh, man, that looks real. That looks really good.
Yeah, so she's getting a bunch of rashes all over her body, and she's just scratching at them
Scratching,
hard.
scratching,
You think she'd be a
scratching.
little smart, but she's just going at it. And the next morning, she's all kind of fucked up, and she goes to the nurse, and the nurse kind of mentions that there was another girl a couple years ago or a few years ago that had the same kind of problem, and she gives her some lotion or ointment to put on, and she says that it's probably a reaction to the meat because her body's not protected against or whatever meat or whatever the germs or I don't know.
And that story, too, that the doctor was telling about the fat girl that came in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that how everyone was just saying that, oh, you need to do this and that, and it was the first time that she didn't bring up the weight. She was the only doctor that didn't bring up the weight.
Yeah,
and actually
exactly,
made her
yeah.
feel like a human being, which again goes back to the whole animal theme of this.
Yeah, and
it was a good story.
and that's the girl that's in the bathroom later. Is it not, or is that a different girl?
Oh, it might have been. Yeah,
That's the girl
Yeah,
that's in the
oh,
bathroom
I see.
that's
Yeah,
telling
yeah,
her
yeah.
because she's telling her to throw up because she's
Right.
bulimic or whatever. Yeah. Tough school.
very tough. Very tough.
That's
man.
how fucking school
Even the
is tough,
doctors
though.
are
School,
assholes.
yeah, especially this is like some kind of college high school mix or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how schooling, but it's like the schooling is once you get to a certain age, they just send you to this school where you just learn that profession. And you're just around, like they're just around veterinarians
Yeah.
or whatever. That's all they're doing.
I thought like whenever they studied veterinary stuff, it was very like dark and ominous. Like when she walked in with the cow hooked up.
It
very
is. Those scenes are
dark and-
very good too.
Yeah.
We can talk about it, but those close-ups of the horse and everything.
Yes,
it is
as it's getting
It's
tranquilized
very
and going
sad,
to sleep.
yeah, and it's those scenes are tough to watch. Those
They
are
are.
some of the hardest scenes to watch.
And dude, how realistic that was. I think they actually put that horse down on film.
Well, they might have, or it might have been trained. They can train horses to go down and to pretend to sleep and stuff.
But can they hang him upside down like they did in that thing?
think
Because
you-
they took him by all four of the legs and hung the
It might have
horse
been a
upside
prop
down.
though.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think.
true. Now that I think about it, it could have been a prop.
I mean, because there's a lot of
That's
dead
an
horses. There's a
expensive
lot
ass-
of dead horses in movies, and they do use dead.
That's true. They
use
don't
a lot
use
of
real dead horses everywhere on the battlefield.
They're not
Good
murdering
point.
all these horses. Yeah,
Just slaughtering them. Could you imagine? PETA would have some problems with that.
he's got a problem with everything.
everything.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that, but I forgot to mention the opening of this film. It doesn't open in the cafeteria. It opens on the shot of that road with the car coming
You're right.
down.
Yes, it does.
So it opens up a really cool shot with the car coming down, and then someone, or you see someone walking, and you don't know who it is.
Uh-huh.
And as the car comes down, the person jumps in front of the road, and the car
Swerves off.
and it gets into a wreck and
Right.
runs into a tree, and then it cuts to the cafeteria. I just want to make sure that we remember that part.
Yeah,
'cause
that's
it does
because
come in
that
later,
comes
yeah.
into play too. And later on, when she passes the wrecked car, and the lead,
Yeah,
and she sees the body, and you just get a quick glimpse, but it looks like
Yeah,
the body's like half gone.
because on their way to school, they pass that road with
Right.
their parents before they're dropping off to school, and she
Yeah.
does see, and it's right before it happened, and the parents like, I don't know, they're not even shocked by it or
No.
anything. It's kind of nonchalant, like that always fucking happens. But so the next day after the rash, she's looking better, but she's craving meat, like you wouldn't believe.
Crazy.
She's got the hunger,
Yeah, she does.
and
And she goes over to the
instead of trying to buy
fridge.
meat, like she goes, it's a cafeteria next where she tries to steal the hamburger patty.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Okay.
Instead of trying to buy the meat, of course, she did make a strong stance that she's vegetarian.
Right.
So if you're gonna make the stance, you got to stick by it. I mean, you don't
It
want to
wasn't
be a
the
poser.
best choice though to wear white and to have that greasy ass burger
No, it was like a
dripping through
hamburger
your
or something. Yeah. So she's
And
tries.
what was weird is there were tongs there that everyone used, but she grabbed it with her
Well,
hand.
she wanted to be a secret, I guess, and she didn't
Right.
want to make a big deal about it.
Right. But also, it also goes back
She
to
also gets
that
caught
animal
immediately.
instinct of just the
Yeah.
hands and eat. That's just what I saw. I think directors make those little choices that people
Well,
don't
that is for
necessarily
sure
know,
because
but-
later when she goes on a date with her gay boyfriend or whatever, and they're getting food, and the weird old guy comes up to him and starts like rubbing her face,
Right.
and she's like not even paying attention. She's just attacking the falafel or whatever. They're like an animal. She's just going at it. But yeah, so she's craving meat. She tries to steal from the cafeteria a hamburger patty. We've all been there. We've all had days.
We've all had to steal a patty
We've all had
once
to
or
steal
twice in our
raw-
lives.
We've all had bad days.
Yes.
But she gets caught, right? She gets caught
Yeah,
by
she gets caught by the cafeteria lady.
who's just fucking on it.
She's
She's monitoring those
around.
patties.
Yeah, she's like, well, I have to see it. Please pull it
She's
out.
counting patties. I'm missing a patty. This shit.
Yeah. Mr. Crab should have hired her because there would be no money unaccounted for.
But,
or patties.
So she does steal the patty.
She does.
And she gets caught, but her sister comes and pays for it, right? And kind
No,
of
her
bails
gay
out.
boyfriend.
Gay boyfriend.
Or not, kind of a boyfriend. It was really weird, that relationship. I didn't know.
It was, really, they were just classmates,
like friends,
they bonded. We didn't talk about it, they bonded during their first hazing, and they were roommates or whatever, so they kind of only had each other. But yeah, he bails her out, and she's embarrassed about the patty and everything, and she throws it away or something, doesn't she?
Yes, she does. She throws it away as they're walking, and he's like, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, no, what a weird... They don't talk about it at all.
I would have been pissed as hit. Yeah, they don't talk about it at all.
Like,
I would
I
have
could
been
buy-
pissed.
I
I
could
just
buy-
bought that for you, and you threw it away. How disrespectful.
What are you
doing?
I would
What are
just
we
say,
doing here?
ask me, I could buy you the hamburger
Right,
patty.
I
You
could've
don't
just
need
got
it.
that
You're
for
not
you.
a fucking animal. But, yeah, so they throw it away, and the next... Oh, and then she goes to the gas station, and that's that scene at night where the weird fucking guy comes up
Right.
and starts rubbing his face, which was a very odd scene.
Seriously weird.
And it added a lot of tension to the film, but it did show how animalistic she was, again, just attacking that meal while her friend's getting fucking molested
By this weird
some
trucker
old
guy.
biker guy. Yeah. But that doesn't satisfy her.
No.
Right. So at night she dips into the kitchen.
She does.
Little raw chicken.
Raw chicken.
Why the
And he's
hell
like,
not?
yeah, I know. And
Cook
she
it?
tried to lie to her friend again. He was like, what do you eat? She's like, cereal. And then
And she's
as
got
soon
it.
as he
She
lives,
hunched over.
she's like eating all the
But
chicken.
that scene where she
or
eats
fish.
the chicken, that chicken looks real. It looks like she
it looks actual raw ass
It
chicken,
looks like
dude.
she took
Yeah.
a huge bite. She
And
does
that's-
take a huge bite of that chicken.
That's the thing, man. With all the props and stuff, like they all look super real. And we'll get into it next because like it's one of the next scenes. But the whole instance where like her sister hanging out with her sister, right? There's not any other significant scene after this.
No.
Yeah. So she's hanging out with her sister, and she lifts up her armpit. She's like, "Oh, you need a Brazilian."
Mm-hmm.
And so she's gonna go downtown and give her sister a Brazilian
Bikini wax. Mm-hmm.
And as she goes to do it, she's
It's
trying
a
to
good
cut.
scene though. It's funny. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
it's
some
funny. Yeah.
all the stuff it's crazy stuff that's happening, but it's happening in a comical way because it's happening to these kids,
Right,
And they
right.
don't know how to deal with it, or it's just crazy. But that is a good scene, with the dog coming up and everything, and,
Right,
like,
yeah.
it weird, but yeah, go on. What happens?
Oh, but so one of the strips gets stuck, so she goes and grabs scissors, and then
Her sister, yeah.
yeah, her sister, her older sister, and then I don't remember how it happened. What?
She tries to yank it, or she kind of cuts herself. And
and the sister kicks her.
Justine, the main girl, kicks her sister in the face, and it fucking
Finger flies off.
comes up. She's got half a finger.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah. And she's kind of panicking. Well,
And
they're both
then-
panicking.
Yeah, they're both panicking.
And they're both they're freaking out. The sister faints almost immediately.
Yep.
Blood loss, probably.
Right.
And
Makes sense.
and Justine, the main girl, she's frantically looking around for the finger. She's
Mm-hmm.
a doctor. She's pretending, so she knows they can reattach it.
Right.
Gets a little blood on her hand.
A little
Gets
bit.
curious.
It's
curious.
too curious. And then again, she's crouched over with
Well,
it.
first she licks the blood off her palm,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see immediately she loves that.
Yeah.
Big
A
fan.
little too much.
And then she
I would
goes
say.
corn on the cob on this
Yeah,
finger.
it was corn on the cob. It was very.
Oh yeah, nibbling at the bone.
Yes.
It's a very animalistic. Like you said,
Very.
she's hunched over, and she's just going at this finger like. a
And
freaking
that is where
drumstick.
probably majority of these foo-foo festival people had to run out of the room. Me,
Oh, yeah.
however, I was just sitting there going like, "Wow, that looks real."
The gore looks amazing in this. film.
Yeah.
It's very.
And I think with a
real.
movie like this, it's so important to have the most realistic thing possible.
Oh yeah, well
And I
it
thought
wouldn't.
it looked really great.
Yeah, it wouldn't be if it was CGI or anything. It just
Right.
wouldn't. because the gore is pretty much the main part. I mean, it's all
It's the main theme of the film. Yeah.
So she goes. She's eating her. She eats the finger whole. I'm pretty sure they couldn't find the finger.
No, they couldn't. No, and they blamed it on who?
And later, that goddamn dog. Poor dog.
They ended up putting that dog to sleep too.
Yeah, and later at the hospital, Justine, the main girl, she tries to throw up the finger, like she's gonna throw it up and like reattach it or whatever.
Yeah.
But so they don't. Yeah, they say that the dog ate it. And when the dad comes, you almost, without knowing, you almost seem like he's not surprised at all.
Well, and he says something that is a very clear indication.
Yep.
He says once a dog takes one bite, it's going to want to take more.
Yeah.
Which obviously comes into play.
So it's the same. Yeah, it's that old. If an animal tastes blood, you have to put it down because it will only crave blood or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he knows all about it. He knows a lot. He's very, very wise. Yeah, he's very wise. But so and she loses a finger. They don't get the finger back. No, they do not.
Nope, no finger. So she's fingerless.
Yeah. Which she got off lucky for this part. Yeah,
she did.
So the next morning, though, her sister, they're starting to bond now.
Yeah, right.
Well, because what happened, we forgot to tell, is the sister wakes up. She wakes up when her sister's going ham off that little finger. Yeah,
and she finds it, and we see her sister cry.
As soon as she sees that she's eating, her sister tears up, but it's not
the tear that we think
sad
why.
Tear. Yeah,
it's because now she understands they're bonded together.
And she's happy that there's someone else. She thought she was the only one. Yeah, that was a very interesting and a good moment.
And
tear,
a very defining moment in the film.
Because you think, most people, I wake up, I see my sister going hard on a finger. I'm upset.
I'm concerned. I'm a concerned
shedding
brother.
Tears, but that's because I'm gonna have to put her down.
Right? Yeah, it's gonna be a dog situation where I take you up the old Frederickson Road. And
I'm going up north to the farm.
I'm sorry, old Yeller, but I got to put you down.
Anyways, so they're linked now. They're bonded.
Yes.
So her sister the next morning, without taking a rest day for that finger, they go out to the road that we see at the start.
Right. Just another day out.
Yeah.
Just another day out on town, right?
It's that deserted road. It's a long stretch, and they're kind of hunched over. They're talking or whatever. She's kind of explaining what's going on or everything. And a car comes, and crazy as shit. I still wasn't expecting it. But she just jumps out in front of the car.
Yep.
And the car crashes. And
there's two dead bodies in there.
Yeah. And
or two people, I should say.
And she immediately starts going at it, the sister.
Well, and she says, they're not going to make it.
Yeah, and one guy is alive.
Right, and she leans into the guy who's still alive and starts taking bites of his
fucking head.
Yeah,
and his brain. Goes right in there like a cracked egg.
Crazy stuff.
And Justine, the little sister, she freaks out and like tells her to stop or whatever.
Yeah,
she's freaking out. She's losing her mind because her sister still kind of doesn't have an idea, but obviously it's starting to link now. Connection.
Yeah, she's starting to understand what's going on with her.
But she freaks out and she runs away.
Yep.
And she's walking down the road where I thought she was couldn't jump out in front of a car.
Do it herself?
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god.
Everyone's
you didn't know it
right
at
now?
this point. You don't know. You don't know with this movie. So, but she doesn't end up doing that. But she ends up. She starts like becoming herself.
She does.
Coming out of her shell. Mm-hmm. So she starts like wearing her sister's clothes, and she starts becoming more
in that defining moment in the
confident.
mirror too.
She's very
where she's listening to that very very grotesque song about like sucking dick and stuff. And she's like doing this sexual dance in the mirror, and we see this transition from a girl into a quote unquote woman.
Yeah,
in that
because
very
for the
moment.
first time she's now able to be herself, or that was the first time in her entire life that she could be herself. She's barely satisfied in the craving so she's really letting loose now.
She is.
She's getting freaky.
She's getting freaky with it.
She starts kind of taking a liking to her roommate, even though he's gay.
Right. She tells her sister to back off too.
Yeah, because
that one's mine. Yeah.
And there's instantly, of course, like a civil or a sibling rivalry between them, where they kind of go after the same person. And but the next night they go to a party, another sweet party. They're raving hard. Justine, the main girl, she's getting drunk. She's getting sloppy drunk. She's getting first night out drunk. Yeah, that's sorority. That's year one stuff.
Yeah, it is.
You got to be better than that.
Yeah, you got to figure it out. Pace yourself.
Oh, for sure. But it's a great scene where it's like a one take where she's going through the party and she's like stumbling around.
Yeah,
and
it was really
everything.
good, and
It's
it
a
was
really
it was
good
well
take.
choreographed too, because like with the water gun and the guy shooting the camera.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Everyone's doing their thing.
And the
coming in
score,
and
I
out of the
really like
shot.
the score of this movie. It's like techno,
sure.
like kind of that techno acoustic upbeat, but it kind of gets the blood flowing, you know,
Right,
every
yeah.
time you hear it. But yeah, she's stumbling around, acting like a real frosh, if you ever ask me.
God dang it.
But yeah, and then she gets another hazing, I guess. Maybe they weren't even hazing each other. Maybe it's just a party thing where they're covering each other in paint.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Because she covers herself in paint, and then they throw her into a room with another guy covered in paint.
And it's yellow and blue,
Paint,
and
and
they
they're-
say don't come out until
you're
you're green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they got to get busy, and they do. They start getting at it, but
It doesn't last long though.
she starts going a little crazy. I'd say she gets a little bitey.
Oh yeah, a little bitey, a little too into that whole
Yeah,
S&M stuff.
It's going good. Yeah,
And she bites
takes
off
a-
the guy's lip.
big chunk,
Yeah.
and it fucking shows it. And it is. It's not like it's a chunk. It's,
Yeah,
it's
his
half of the
lip's
guy's
gone.
goddamn lip.
Yeah.
And he's kind of stunned. It's a really good scene where he's kind of not freaking out. He's kind of
Yeah.
just looking at it. And she stays at the party.
She does, but she showers first.
Yeah, she
And
does.
then that's when she's doing this thing. She's fondling with her teeth, and she
takes
pulls out a
big
piece of the
chunk.
flesh.
Yeah.
And then she drops it, and then she picks it back up, and then she eats it.
We can't waste good meat.
You can't waste good meat. No,
Not in
absolutely
this
not.
economy.
No, it's the price of meat,
Oh,
let
you
alone
can't-
human flesh.
meat- oh,
I mean, you're
it's
paying
damn
top
rare.
dollar
Oh,
for that
yeah.
stuff. So, got to do what you got to do.
Yes. So she showers and then she goes back to the party,
Yes.
which is a bold move. That's a rally,
Very.
though. That's,
Yeah,
you
it
got to
is.
respect
Yeah,
that.
it's
Because
like
not a lot of people go back.
Cannibalism and rally. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
She goes back to the party and she gets even drunker.
Even drunker,
She starts
yeah.
getting drunker, and the next night she just wakes up.
In her room,
In her
which
room.
is already tossed around again. So they fucked up her room again.
Yeah.
And everyone else's room.
Yes. And but
She goes to class, and that girl was like looking at her weird. She can't figure out what the hell's going
yeah,
on.
everyone's giving her weird looks.
Mm-hmm.
She's walking in class, and everyone's like this, like something's wrong with her or whatever.
Right.
And, like, she's a weird person or whatever. Like she has a
disease
sign
or
on her or something. Yeah, like she's a leper or something. But yeah, and then she finds someone shows her a video, or her boyfriend, her gay roommate,
Right.
again, who plays a huge role in this movie. But he shows her the video, and he's kind of disgusted with her too.
Everyone is.
And it is a crazy video.
It is.
Let me tell you, I'd rather have a Hulk Hogan sex tape out than,
Right,
than
than this.
have this.
How about a
fucking-
Robert Kraft sex tape? Which one would you rather have?
Oh, again, Yankee at the massage parlor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd rather watch that than this?
This? Oh, would I rather watch it or be in it?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd rather watch someone eat someone whole than have to watch a Robert Kraft sex tape.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of things I'd rather do.
Right. But anywho,
So the scene is she's drunk as shit. She's on her hands and knees.
and knees again, symbolic of animal.
Yeah, and they're in like a morgue or something.
Yeah, because obviously it's a veterinary school, so they probably have dead bodies. Because remember, they said that there's a hospital right
Yes,
next
yeah,
to it.
'cause it's
they
also-
preface that in Act
Yeah.
1 with the parents.
Yep.
So they're in the hospital. They're in this.
Let me tell you, these kids are just
morgue.
allowed anywhere.
I know. What's astonishing? To
I
me.
guess
they're
because-
just pulling out dead bodies,
I know.
looking at them. So
I guess
weird.
because it is a learning school, I guess it's just kind of a free for all. But
and they probably don't expect kids to go party with dead people. You know, that's
these kids are freaks. Though. Have they been to these parties?
obviously not.
Have they seen these hazing
I
rituals?
know. No shit.
Get a clue. Anyways, yeah. So it's a video. She's on her hands and knees, and they're kind of teasing her. She's like drunkenly trying to eat
the
this
guy's
dead
hand.
body, and it's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, very embarrassing.
Super embarrassing. Yeah, I would say you don't
You're not gonna
recover
live
from that.
You're not gonna
no.
live that one down.
No, that's one of those. That's one of those tough instances.
So she's pissed, right? And she finds out
she's pissed
She's
at
found
her
out
sister because she
sister was
sees
the
the
one
video.
or she was there, or was she videotaping?
She would no. Her sister was the one
one
doing the
teasing her,
arm
yeah.
to her. Yeah, which is fucked up as a sister. Why
It's
would
like
you do that?
the whole reason. Yeah, she did it because obviously the boy they were
boy,
jealous of.
yep.
But it is crazy. I mean, that's an insane thing to do because she knew that her sister was a cannibal or
Right,
whatever.
just
So
like
she
her,
knew that
and
what
she
she
does
could
that.
she knew what she could fuck her with. Yeah. Anyway, so she's pissed and she meets her sister, and her sister's like out in the middle of this like court or whatever. There's people everywhere. It's a real public base.
Yes.
A real public base to have a cannibal fight.
Very, very weird.
And I gotta tell you, after seeing this, you don't want to be in a fight with a cannibal.
You do not.
That's the last person because they get real bitey. You want to keep your hands
First
away
weapon
from
of defense, their mouths.
Yeah. Oh, they're biting. They're chomping everything.
Right.
You don't want to get a hand up near the face. You'll lose a finger.
You know who in the UFC is a cannibal? Mickey Gall. Did you see that bite mark he gave Diego Sanchez?
Oh no, I believe it.
Go on the
I think I
Instagram
did see it,
page. Yeah, it was like, hey, dude, that bite mark looks severe.
He didn't eat. I mean that. If you're
I know,
by
just being a
that's
smart ass.
by, that is just Mike Tyson is a cannibal. I mean, he took a
Right.
chunk.
He took a literal chunk.
Yeah, he took a chunk.
Maybe there are cannibals in the world.
Who knows? Maybe.
Problematic.
I like to believe so, but probably not.
Probably not. No.
So they get into a big fight.
They do.
And it's not like
And
your
they're
typical.
biting
It's not
each
your
other.
typical cat fight. It's a cannibal fight.
it
That's
is.
on another level. Yeah, they're biting each other. The little sister Justine is kicking the ass of the older sister,
She is.
Alexa Wright. Really beating her. I mean,
But then the older sister gets on top and she bites her
gets full mount.
face.
Gets full mount. You don't want
never
full mount.
give full mount up. Never.
Never give up full
Two things
mount.
you never do. Never give up full mount. Never give up your back.
In the MMA world, you don't want to give up your back, but when you're fighting a cannibal, I say go back.
Go back. Yeah.
I say go straight to your back because I'd rather take a bite at my shoulder than my goddamn
Your
cheek.
face. Yeah, because you're never getting that
And
back.
this looks fucking real. It looks like she really was struggling to get a chunk of her face off.
Dude, yeah, it's so gross. And then even the next, and I'm not jumping forward. I'm just making this point because we're talking about the realisticness of it. But even the next day, when the bandage, she pulls off the bandage
and
from
it
her
is
face.
it's not just a bite. Like it's not like a Mickey Gall bite where it's just
God.
like it's a chunk.
It's a chunk of her
quarter
flesh.
size chunk of her
Yeah.
flesh. Yeah. And that kind of ends the fight.
It does.
Which it will. I mean,
you bite someone's face off, it's probably gonna
it's
end.
usually a timeout. Yeah, that's yeah, so they're still, they're sisters. They're like, we gotta forget about
Whatever.
it. Right? Water under the bridge.
This will just make us closer.
Yeah, and they did.
did.
They're closer.
Yeah.
Closer than ever. They're like bandaging each other's fight wounds.
Right.
Puts a bandage on the face, and there you have it. They're closer. That's just bonding.
It
Siblings
is.
do stuff.
That's what they do.
I mean, yeah.
They just bite each other's faces off.
I fought with my brother all the time.
My brother used to chase me around the house with a knife, so.
I'd rather that than him bite me.
Yeah, same. He never actually stabbed me, though. He was a bluff. I was like, do it, bitch. Do it. Stab me right in the fucking neck. Yeah,
Never
do
did,
it.
huh?
Do it. Never
He's
did.
a punk.
Never
Punk
did.
ass. Yeah.
Punk ass. Didn't want to spend 25 to life in the pen. Yeah, bitch. I
wish
called
you
that
would.
bluff.
I wish you
Do
would.
it.
All right. Well, so the next morning she wakes up.
Right.
Justine, the little sister. She wakes up.
And she's laying next to her
It's a
boyfriend.
brighter morning.
Or laying next to...
Oh, yeah, we should say that the night before, her and her boyfriend finally...
her gay boyfriend, which is another interesting
not her
relationship.
boyfriend. We keep calling her that.
We
It was
keep
not
calling-
her
it's
boyfriend.
her boyfriend.
It's her
but
roommate.
It's like her friend, yeah.
But they end up getting at it. Or they end up having sex, and it's crazy because they end up, that's where they have sex, isn't it?
No.
Oh, that was before?
Yeah, that was actually before. We actually glanced over
Oh,
that
we glanced over it.
earlier.
That's a crazy
but
scene because they're
it
going.
is.
That's when talk about animalistic, because when she's going crazy,
She's going crazy.
and she's like trying to bite at him and stuff, and he's like kind of like okay,
Yeah,
it's getting weird now.
And so she bites herself.
Yeah, and she takes a big chunk out of her arm too, and it's and it doesn't end well. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, the next scene, the next day, right
So next
after
scene,
this
nothing
fight,
happened. Yeah, nothing happened that night. I
Right.
guess. So they go to bed. Things are normal. Things are looking up. Sister, you got a big fight out of the
and
way.
even her friend is like, okay, we're still friends,
Yeah.
this and that. And she goes, and what happens?
She wakes up and she notices there's a little blood on her hand,
Mm-hmm.
and she like she pokes the guy, her roommate next to her,
Who's sleeping.
He doesn't move up. Yeah,
Right.
And we think he doesn't
Just
wake up,
eternally sleeping.
and then she notices there's like blood on the sheets or whatever.
Right. And she pulls it back and freaks out.
Yeah, and she pulls off the sheet, and his fucking leg is gone.
Yep.
His whole goddamn leg.
Yeah. And she thinks that she did it at first.
Yeah, because she thinks at this point she thinks she can't control herself.
Yeah.
Because she almost killed him earlier, and she almost ate that dead guy.
Right.
But yeah, so she's freaking out, and she goes to her sister's room.
Not to her sister's room. She sees the blood trail.
Oh yeah, and she follows it.
and it's just right around the room corner. And her sister's sitting there, kind of looking like an animal, very like bewildered and just staring forward.
She's
got
catatonic.
blood.
Yeah, she doesn't know, like, or she's just not there.
Right. She's got
just
blood all over her face. And she takes that ski pole, which is in the Act 1 as well.
And she puts it up to her face.
Puts it up to her face like she's going to kill her, but then she looks at her and realizes that she can't control it.
Oh yeah, she was gonna. It wasn't like a vengeful thing, but it was like a mercy death.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna kill her. They're gonna lock her up anyways or whatever. Her life is pretty much over. She was gonna end it because if you're you can't. I mean, if you're eating people's legs, there's not much need for you anymore.
No, there's not. No.
You pretty much got to retire at that
Pretty
point.
much, yeah.
I mean, you peaked. But yeah, but she doesn't. They're just tight sisters, you know. Tight. You can't break that bond. Of
Can't break the cannibal bond.
You can't.
You can't do it.
She cleans her up, takes her to a shower, washes the blood off, and I'm guessing turns her in.
Yeah, because she gets turned in, and then the next scene
Yeah.
that we see, she's in prison.
In that scene, though,
and that one was really well shot.
yeah.
The opening scene of that prison where we see both of their faces.
We should say, though, in that scene where she does find her older sister covered in blood, she is very angry that she killed.
Oh, yeah,
her
she's
friend.
super pissed.
Super
Yeah.
mad. Yeah, and she is gonna kill. Yeah, but she's forgiving her. Of course, I do like though she did go to jail and ended up not being like they could frame it or anywhere that she got off or anything like that.
Right.
Where you can't blame this one on the dog.
No, can't do that. No.
And it also shows, we didn't say in that scene, but the guy was stabbed to death
In the back. Right.
Yeah, so while he was sleeping, she came in and obviously saw that they were sleeping together, and she stabbed him. Then ate a whole leg, which is a lot of meat.
It's a lot of meat to consume in one sitting.
You're going to be full.
Yes.
That is
definitely.
a lot of meat. But, yeah, and then the next scene, realistically, the sister's in prison, and the bond is still there.
Right, and we see that symbolically again
Yeah.
with the reflection of the mirror. It's both of their faces intertwined in the reflection of the glass looking between them, and you're like, who are we looking at? And then it slowly, the camera slowly changes
Yeah.
its focus point.
Well, it's kind of
And we
thing that
see
they
both
are
the two
one of the
different faces.
same or
They
whatever.
are,
There's
yeah.
no real difference to them or
Right.
whatever. They are. She just happened to get caught this time. But, I mean, it seemed like it was kind of an inevitable thing that she eventually was going to get caught or something because she can't
Right.
control it.
Right.
But, yeah, and then they go separate ways, but it shows that the sister flips her off in a kidding way with the finger she
With the
has
finger
left.
she left, yeah.
And yeah, and that's the it of kind of the main movie, right?
And then we get the very last scene in the movie where Justine and her father are sitting there.
And probably my favorite scene of the whole movie.
Yeah.
And they're talking, and it's a great scene. And you could tell this man is just barely hanging on. I mean, he's been through some shit.
Been through the ringer.
I mean, he's like a shell of a man at this point, right? He's got a hair lip, but I got a feeling that he wasn't born with
this part
Yeah,
gone.
yeah.
No.
But yeah, so they're just talking, and eventually, he hesitantly starts taking his shirt off, and the daughter Justine, she starts crying too because she
Right.
knows something very scary is about to happen. And he takes his shirt off, and he's covered,
In very deep bite marks.
and there's chunks taken out of him
Yeah.
too, covered in fucking. And so it shows that in this world or whatever, that gene or whatever
It's hereditary.
can be passed down at least
Yeah.
from female to female, which was a crazy way to end it.
Crazy ending.
Which I mean, it means how long of generations?
Has this been going on?
Yeah, how many people have they?
Open to interpretation, my
Yeah, they
friend.
could have been killing people for centuries.
They could have been.
But yeah, a great ending. I thought
It was
A
great.
crazy.
Yeah. Good way to
ending.
wrap the whole movie up too.
Yeah, and it was
And I kind of saw that coming actually. Just with all the talk beforehand, with like the dog and stuff like that.
Yeah, and
The father
well,
always seemed to know.
It
He always
does. Yeah,
seemed
he's very
chill about it.
candid and we're kind of weird about
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, he does. But it's implied. I mean, I'm guessing.
Right.
You know. But yeah, crazy.
Crazy movie.
Crazy. Explains why they were so adamant about keeping meat
Yeah.
out of her system.
Right.
Because one taste.
One taste,
That's all it takes.
and you just want more and more.
Golly. That's why I'm scared.
Oh,
That's why I'm scared to try it.
Yeah.
I take one bite. Who knows what's
Who
going to
knows,
happen?
man?
Yeah.
Maybe you start doing the Dahmer thing.
Yeah, I start loving it. It could be delicious. We don't know.
We don't know.
I hear it's like pork.
Really?
I think Dahmer actually said that.
Okay.
And who would know better than him?
Yeah, no kidding. He had bodies in his freezer.
He got bodies in barrels.
Yeah. Weird guy.
Well, Mason, what did you think about this movie? Was it crazy? Did you throw up? Would you have?
No,
left
I
the
definitely
theater?
didn't throw up or anything. Obviously, as we talked about earlier, I like the practical effects. I like this movie, man. I like foreign films. They're different than what we get over here in the States. With kind of the traditional movies of
jump
like
scares.
The Rock or even just that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But this was a completely new take on a coming of age story. They really did. I found interesting and fascinating, and the whole time, like, I never have a problem with reading subtitles either in foreign films.
No, especially when they're films this good.
Exactly.
It doesn't take anything from it. It doesn't take the
not
value
at
from
all.
it, yeah.
So for me, are we giving our grades?
Yeah, we can give her a final. Yeah.
So my grade for this, I did actually enjoy this, and I would recommend it if you do have a weak stomach. You probably shouldn't watch it just because. But I gave this a B+.
Yeah.
Yep, I liked it.
God, yeah, I love this movie. Like I said, I obviously liked it a lot. I was the one who recommended, but yeah, I love foreign horror films.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, after I saw this movie, I went on a huge kick, and they're brutal. They're not afraid. They never shy away from anything.
Right.
Whereas where in America we get a lot of PG-13 horror films, which is insane. Because it's horror. It's supposed to scare you. It's supposed to fuck you up. Yeah,
Right.
It's supposed to scar you. It's not supposed to be made for kids or whatever. But in foreign films like this, Old Boy is another really good one. That's a Korean film. But it does not shy away from showing everything. And that's what I liked about it. And this film, the director did an amazing job. It was beautifully shot. The score, everything about it was good. And this is one of my favorite. And I gave it an A.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, you really
Solid.
did like
I
this
love
movie.
this movie. I would recommend this movie to anyone, especially if you're a horror fan. Even if you're not a fan of foreign films, which a lot of people aren't.
Right.
Because you have to read.
I know.
It's such
So
a burden.
stupid.
But
I know.
yeah, I would recommend it to everyone. The acting is really good too.
It is.
The girl goes through a transformation.
And you talked about the chemistry between the sisters was really well done.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
Like
Yeah.
They actually felt to me like sisters.
And we talk about character development and everything. And the development of the main girl from start to finish in just a short period of time is insane.
Right.
She goes from this nerdy, kind of candid, just really
Introverted girl.
introverted, into
Yeah.
this absolutely insane people where she's fucking not scared to show her real side.
Yeah.
And that's what this whole movie was about. It's about conformity and showing who you really are and power of the women.
It was good, man.
Break free. If you're gonna eat people, I say don't do it.
No.
I was gonna say, go for it, but usually I'm on board being yourself. But I say
Not in this instance.
restrict yourself.
Restrain yourself. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Get meat and pretend it's a person.
Yeah, there you go.
Why not?
Method act your way into
Yeah,
this.
I'm fine with people doing that.
That's fine.
If it keeps you from actually eating people, pretend all you want.
Right.
Go fun with it. Get
Yeah.
crazy.
Why not?
You're not hurting anyone. All right,
Alrighty.
Mason.
Well,
That's raw for you.
That was fun. That was Raw. That's the French film Raw. Check it out. It's on Netflix right now. If you guys are curious to see this for yourselves, we are on YouTube. Type in "Have you seen it?" Go to channel. We are the one with the popcorn sitting in the director's chair. He's yelling. He's not very happy.
Angry popcorn.
Angry popcorn man. So find us on YouTube. We're on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcast, SoundCloud, Google Play, Stitcher, anywhere where you can find podcasts. Cash is on Twitter. That's just Cash. Our Have You Seen It podcast Twitter handle is Seen It Podcast. We're on Instagram. Have you seen it? We also have a Facebook page that is regularly updated with trailers and the latest movie news. And I think that should be about it. So go like and subscribe. Leave us a comment below. Let us know what you thought about this movie. If we're just absolutely crazy, whatever you liked about it. So until next time.
Yeah. What's French for goodbye?
Bonjour. No, that's hello. I'm such an uncultured swine.
You are. You're fucking typical American. I don't know. Just
Typical
goodbye.
American.
Don't eat people. I'll leave you with that.
There we go.
Little word of advice.